Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Zenaton, and welcome to today's video for Legends of Runeterra. Today we're going to be looking at another Jayce deck. Today we're going to be looking at a deck specifically that is a old deck that's being updated with the new cards, and we're throwing in Jayce. The deck is Elise, Vi, Sentinel, Ladros Control. Sometimes it would play Kindred instead of Vi. The current version we were playing is doing a 2-2-2 split, 2 Elise, 2 Vi, 2 Jayces. Mostly in all honesty, to see how Jayce works and if we can fit in the 6 mana spell package with Jayce alongside the Sentinel Ladros control package. So let's go look at the deck. Okay, welcome to the deck. So as I said earlier, this deck is not really a new concept. It's been around for a bit. Kind of came into, I'd say, popularity creation, whatever you want to call it, about like a month or so ago, I'd say, uh, where some good players were taking decks and variants of decks like this to high rank masters. Pretty much just a spell pile, a removal pile, bunch of, like the old Karina control decks, just a bunch of removal cards, and you stall out, and eventually you win the game with a Ladros Atrocity combo, or you just have so much control you just win the game with your Ladros and the rest of your board. But a lot of new cards in this deck now. Mostly, again, like I said, to try out the package and see if we can fit in the Jayce package. It might actually just be better to play only a couple of these new cards and just play the old Elise, Kindred, and maybe a Vi or two in the deck instead of just playing Jayce. But again, it's an experiment, and I like it so far. Personally, I'm a fan of it, but again, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it because of Jayce or if I'm a fan of it because I just like this style of gameplay. So, very simple game plan, really. I don't think I need to talk too much about it. You really are just, in almost every single matchup, you are the control deck. You are just going to remove your opponent's threats and stall out until you can get a Ladros Atrocity combo. You can, I will say this, because of your Sentinels and the fact that they are Fearsomes, who can get quite big, Buru Sentinel being a 5/4, in fact, you can actually put on a lot of pressure in the early game. Some decks just have no way to block Fearsomes early, and in some matchups, this is actually your main game plans. For example, against maybe a Shellfolk deck. Shellfolk is kind of tough for you, especially the combo-oriented version with Poro Cannon and Glorious Evolution, so you'll want to beat them down and win with an Atrocity still in the late game, but Atrocity may be on something else because the game won't last long enough for you to Ladros Atrocity them. And of course, we got a little bit of burn thanks to the new card Shock Blast and Mystic Shot, like every PNZ deck has. So, let's look at each and every single card. Why not? And why they're in here. First up, 2 Thermo Beams. This is pretty standard, I'd say, in a lot of more control-y PNZ decks. 3 Thermo Beams is nice in certain metas and for certain decks, and I know a lot of people swear by 3 Thermogenic Beams. I personally only like 2, sometimes even 1. I just feel like it sometimes breaks your hand too much if you have 3, can get a little clunky. With Jayce, it is nice, though, because a very expensive Thermo Beam helps level up Jayce, so I like 2, though. Next up, one of the main components of the card, the Burgeoning Sentinel, also known as Demacian Sentinel, formerly known as Demacian Sentinel. Overall, great card, 1 mana, 1/2. Kind of sucks in the late game, though. But still, just a good card, not being able to die, or not dying to a ping like a Make It Rain or a Pokestick's really good before it's active. And the Fearsome keyword lets you get in some nice damage, so great card. Next up, couple of Elises. Just really not much to say here with Elise. She's just doing what she always does in control decks. Just coming down, putting on some pressure, and making it hard, making your opponent have to answer her, or else she runs away with the game. Don't really try to win the game with her. She's mostly just here for early game pressure, and just because she has a good stat line and the 1/1 spider she creates can get some value. Next up, a new card, Pharaoh's Financier. Just a great card overall. The Shadow Isle 6+ spell pool is pretty solid. You have things like Vengeance, Ruination. There's some healing as well in the form of the 6 mana deal 5, heal 5. I believe it's even in this deck. Piercing Darkness. Just an overall great card. So 3 of them are in the deck. Also helps fight for the board too, so that's another positive. Next up, we are a PNZ deck, so of course we got to run 3 Mystic Shots. Just insanely good card. Also, 3 Vile Feast. This card's just too good. It's basically another unit, kind of. Being able to heal you, give you a 1/1, and kill things. Just overall great. Next up, Baru Sentinel. I still don't really know how to pronounce this guy's name. The other Sentinel in the deck. 3-mana, 3/3 before he's active, which is a solid stat line. Also, Fearsome is a good keyword, but when he becomes a 5/4, he's really tough to deal with. 4 health is kind of really hard for a lot of decks to deal with, outside of maybe Ravenous Flock decks. So, great card, very hard to deal with. Next up, 3 Forge of Tomorrows. This is part of the 6-mana plus spell package we're trying out. Creating a Forge Worker, which is a 3-mana 3/3, nothing else about it, is pretty good. And then getting some of your mana back when you cast an expensive spell is pretty good. So we're trying it as a 3 of. Next up, 1 of Despair. I've gone from 0 to 1 to 2 in this deck. It depends on the meta. Since we have a lot of healing, it's a fine piece of removal. I don't think in this meta we should have 2, but I do like it as a 1 of, just for those really annoying, hard to handle, but small enemy units. Or when your opponent just doesn't leave a way to protect a unit from a Despair. For example, going below deny mana while they have a Lee Sin on board, and using Despair on Lee Sin is always a good feeling. Next up, 2 Jayces. Could honestly go up to 3 if the 6-mana package is 6-mana spell package is good enough. Just 1 Vi, 3 Jayces. But we're trying it out as a 2/2/2 split. Same with Vi. You could go the other way and do like 3 Vis, 1 Jayce as well. I've seen some people trying that out too. I'm not sure how I like it, but it's whatever. In between, we got Officer Squad. This is a card a lot of people don't even know exists. I really, really like this card. 5 mana 4/5, no keywords, but he creates a Most Wanted when he is summoned. This card is a 5 mana slow spell. Pick a player to discard their lowest cost card to draw 3. You're always going to pick yourself. You are almost never, ever going to pick your opponent because we're not a mill deck. So you might say, okay, why are we playing this over Glimpse? The 4/5 body is actually reasonable, and similar to Buru Sentinel when it's activated, 4/5 is a very awkward body for your opponent to deal with. He helps slow down the game, and he lets you, technically you might say like, oh, unlike isn't it like a draw 2 because you're discarding 1 card? So isn't Glimpse better? 1, Glimpse can be stopped by your opponent just removing the unit. And sure, it's cheaper, but 2, it's not really a draw 2 because you're discarding 1 to draw 3. It is really just a draw 3 because you will play Most Wanted in the, I'd say, mid to late game when you have things like an extra Burgeoning Sentinel or maybe even Elise, and you don't really want them anymore because it's the late game and they're kind of useless. Like how I said, Burgeoning Sentinel is kind of garbage in the late game. Some of these decks have been playing 3. I think 3 is just too many. While I love the card, it's still a 5-mana card, and it is still pretty slow in certain matchups. So 2 for now. Could do 1, but I like 2. Next up, Withering Mist, just a 1 of. I go between this, Withering Wail, and Grasp. I just like Withering Mist, I think, the most overall. Withering Wail doesn't seem to kill enough things, especially now that Ranger's Resolve is a little more popular again. And Grasp just feels bad, even though it's fast, really. So I like Withering Mist the most out of all of the 5-mana drain spells in Shadow Isles. Next up, Assembly Line. Card's basically just Remembrance, but for PNZ. Instead of getting a 1 big unit with potentially a good keyword like Challenger, you're getting 2 smaller units, which is nice if your opponent's trying to go wide. 6/6 worth of stats, where 6 mana is pretty solid since you can cast it early on thanks to spell mana. So overall good card, and it lets you flood the board with Jayce, and of course it has some other Jayce synergy by letting you level up Jayce. Same for Piercing Darkness too. Got some more Jayce synergy. Getting this doubled up with Jayce can just win the game against certain aggro decks if they don't stop the drain somehow with like a Noxian Fervor. But yeah, great card. Healing 10 is pretty solid. But yeah, it's pretty good. Only 1 of, though, because it is a little clunky. Now, Shock Blast, though. Shock Blast is a whole 3 of because being able to go face especially if you can double up the spell, is nuts. Because healing's not that good in the meta at the moment. And then our last few cards, 1 Atrocity, 2 Ladroses. Could go up to 2 Atrocities, but I like 1 at the moment. I feel like the meta, while it is really fast and Atrocity is nice, I think it is so fast I'd rather just run another removal spell over the second Atrocity and a 1 of Ruination to really make the Gangplank decks a little sad, because Gangplanks and Sejuani's, those big fat mid-range units, are kind of tough for this deck to answer outside of Thermogenic Beam. And before you say, what about Despair? Despairing a Gangplank is a big chunk of damage to your face. But sometimes you gotta do it, of course. Other cards that are not in this deck that you could consider, Defective Swapbot for 1. Defective Swapbot is really nice, especially against decks like Lurk. Using Defective Swapbot to steal the Rek'Sai stats is really cute. Just be careful of things like a Pike or Bone Skewer if you're gonna use that, because removal does stop Defective Swapbot. You could also try Aloof Traveler too, as like more card draw and some disruption. The meta's a little too fast for that, I think, in my opinion, but it's decent enough. You could try it. So yeah, not much to talk about with this deck. Like I said, the strategy is not that complex. Just remove your opponent's things, stall, play Ladros, play Atrocity, win the game. So let's see how that plan works out in action. Okay. All right. It looks like I have one of the strongest decks in the meta here. We got Poppy Zed. This matchup, I really just want to find some early game removal. I want to find Thermogenic Beam and Mystic Shot. I'll keep a Vile Feast because of Fleet Feather Tracker. I'm actually going to throw back Vi. I really want a Mystic Shot. There we go. That's good. That's good. Little annoyed that they have a turn 3. Little annoyed they have the attack token on 3. There we go. That's how I'll say that. Might just play out and feel easier, actually. I don't want to trade for this. Like, yeah, I'm going to trade for this. This is probably the most value this Sentinel is getting in this matchup. I will not play Elise. I will play Elise. I'm a little afraid of Bright Seal, but if they trade Bright Seal for Elise, that's actually good for me, because I'll be left with a 1/1 Spider, which can block an on-curve Zed. That would also mean they have no spell mana for Zed too, so our Mystic Shot would kill it. That's fine. That means Zed will have no spell mana. We can ping this, so we're in a good spot here. The fact that my opponent offered me the trade for the Sentinel, I feel like they didn't think I would trade for that, which sometimes I wouldn't. But yeah, this is a good start for me. I feel like they're going to just go all in and play Zed here and just say I don't have Mystic Shot, which would be a very, very, how to put it, hopeful play. That card's not normal. Hello? Alright, that is definitely not a normal card. I'll do this now. Why not? Yeah, I haven't seen Vanguard Sergeant. I know it's gotten buffed, and a lot of people are throwing in Vanguard Sergeant. I'll gladly get some chip damage on this guy. A lot of people are throwing in Vanguard Sergeant into all kind of decks. I do not think this deck should play it. I guess you could argue it's kind of like Yordle in Arms, and Yordles in Arms has seen play in certain like Poppy Go Wide decks, but yeah, I think you should probably just, you know, not play this. I don't care if they block here, I'll just ping this. Sure. Yep, I'll just ping this now. Just really don't want to waste mana here. And I also really don't want to Mystic Shot this, but I might have to. I'd rather Vi. Like, have Vi kill this. That's fine. That's really, really good. I still get the 1/1. But yeah, I think you should definitely be playing just more elusives. This guy's even emoting at me now? Why? This isn't a good spot for you. These are not good draws. No one really plays Deny in this deck anymore, but I have seen some people play Will of Ionia. So Atrocity Ladros is a little bit of a hopeful play here. But yeah, they're running out of cards. This is good. They don't have that wide of a board. It's not annoying. So their rallies aren't that good now. So we're in a good spot. I don't even have to chump here. Like, I will not chump this. I'll just take the damage and play Vi.
I'm doing this my way.
It's not like my health is, like, all this damage is permanent anyway. I can heal back up. That's fine. This feels like a rally. Oh, no rally. Okay. That's great for me. Then this feels like a Twin Disciplines, but... No, they can't Twin Disciplines to kill Vi.
Do you like magic?
Sure, sure. I'm fine with this. Thank you for letting me ping that as well. Don't know why they're chump blocking here. They probably know that I have Atrocity, that I'm an Atrocity deck, so they're just trying to keep every point of damage because they can't heal really, and Atrocity is going to be tough for them to answer because they are not a deny deck. Ooh, okay. I was not expecting that. That's fine. Vi still lives. I don't care too much. I just want to set up my Sentinel now.
Silent as death.
The sea is too shallow a grave.
I think I'll just Mystic Shot here. Twin Disciplines? Yep. Alright. It's fine. They're starting to get their elusive game plan, and I've kind of run out of cards. Piercing Darkness is going to help out a lot in slowing down. Okay, that helps. As long as they don't have, As long as they don't have... What's the card's name I'm thinking of? Another Ranger's Resolve? This is fine. I don't know why you're sharp-sighting this. Excuse me? I have Spider's opponent. Okay. I mean, you just threw away a sharp sight. Sure. I will actually just pass here. If they want to pass, sure. I'm trying to make them rally here. This feels like a rally. Like, I've said it numerous times. I keep saying it feels like a rally because the plays they're doing do feel like they're trying to set up a rally. Yep, there we go. That's fine. Thank you for not barriering one of your elusives, so I can do this. Please no Ranger's Resolve. Alright. Don't think I lose from here. They're out of gas. Sure, I'm a little low on cards. This is actually why I like Officer Squad too. Like, I do run out of cards with this deck. Glimpse is nice too, but yeah, I like Officer Squad more. Assembly lines, whatever. Let's just send this in and keep the 1/1 behind to chump block. Please no Riposte again. I don't know why you're playing Riposte in this Pokey Stick meta, but I see it occasionally. So it looks like this is going to be one of those games where I could just Atrocity actually right now. That's fine. If they play the last card, I will Atrocity here. I should probably just do it now in all honesty. If they wasted a deny on Atrocity, that's probably a win for me anyway. Hello, Pharaoh's Financier. Good to see you.
My shield is yours.
Sure. Sure, Shock Blast is good.
Help when I can. Shut up when I can't.
Protect and strike.
I mean, am I gonna do this? Like, don't get me wrong. This is probably worth an Atrocity, but... I'll do it, Let's just go for it. They don't play Deny in that deck. Deny is literally the only way to stop this, unless they're weird and play Single Combat or Concerted Strike. Well, that was an easy game. Let's get another one. Didn't even see Jayce, though.
That stands for victory.
All right. Looks like we got ourselves a matchup with the new hotness. We got a matchup against Heimerdinger Jayce. I mean, we're also a Jayce deck, technically. This matchup, kind of want to find Despair. I'm not really sure I want Financier. At least early. I have a nice curve here, so I don't really need Financier. Financier would be like a turn 4 play. So I kind of want to just find some either a 6-mana card. Okay, I found the Despair. Perfect. So looking like a good start here. Gonna be a tough matchup though. I will start with Elise. Elise is pretty good here. That's fine. This is actually really, really good though, because they're not banking mana and setting up for a turn 6 like Forge Workers or Assembly Line or whatever that card is called. So I can't, in this matchup, I cannot rely on, thank you for setting up my Buru Sentinel Vile Feast, by the way. I cannot rely on Ladros Atrocity because of Minimorph. Minimorph is going to really just mess me up in that game plan. Still, though, Ladros is still good in this matchup because, well, he's Ladros. And it's really the real reason is because this version of Heimerdinger Jayce has no access to healing. Pharaoh's Financier can't find healing. There's just no healing in those two regions. So we just... Every point of damage we are pushing in is permanent. I feel like this 2-2 will block my 2-1. I might even ping here to push in another 2 damage. Yeah, I'm actually going to ping here to push in another 2 damage. I'm actually going to not do that. I'm a little afraid of them playing Jayce. I want to have Thermo Beam in case they play a Challenger Jayce here. That's fine. We can Shock Blast that in response if we care enough. I'm going to take True Shot Barrage here. We've done a lot of early game damage thanks to our Fearsomes. True Shot Barrage is another 3 damage to face. We have Shock Blast 2 for another 3 damage. In theory, that's 6 damage to face. I will gladly play my Forge here. So far, everything seems good. If they pass again, I will gladly take the turn. Don't want to go below 4, though, because this feels like they might play a Heimerdinger here if I do. Feels like they have a Jayce in hand, though. Like, I do feel that Jayce in hand. Flash. Okay, maybe they don't have Jayce. I can ping here. Yeah, I could definitely Vile Feast this 2-1 and attacking for a lot of damage coming up. Ooh, yeah. I love this attack. Now I can ping the 3-1 so they have no Fearsome blockers. But yeah, as I said in the deck tech itself, in the deck analysis, sometimes you just win thanks to Fearsomes. Some decks just struggle a lot with Fearsomes. Like, how are they going to deal with this 5-4? Are they actually going to do a 5 damage Thermo Beam here? That's a real feels bad if they have to do that. Pokey Stick? Yeah, sure. Whatever. That's fine. That means they can't deal with Buru Sentinel this turn. I'm going to open attacking with Buru Sentinel. No one card deals with Buru Sentinel at fast speed. They'll need like 2 Mystic Shots or something. Another Forge is kind of annoying, but whatever. Just push in more and more damage. Just keep it up. Basically, just keep pushing more and more damage. Kind of makes this Ladros like a little irrelevant because I keep pushing in all this damage, but it's fine. That kind of sucks that I don't have a Mystic Shot here. Oh, they're transforming their unit. Oh, I thought they were transforming my unit into their unit to make a smaller guy. That's actually... wasn't expecting that. Sure. I think I'll True Shot Barrage here because I definitely want to use some of my mana. I could use this instead, though. And then I could play Forge of Tomorrow. Yeah, this wastes no mana, actually. This is much better. And now I just kill them. This deck has no healing. They have no way to counter spells. We just win thanks to burn now. And that's how, while we're a control deck, sometimes we just win thanks to Fearsomes. So, GG, opponent. They fell behind on board, couldn't deal with the Fearsomes, and we just win now. Man, that's a very fast win. Now that I think about it, like, wow, I really demolished my opponent. Like, I'm not trying to insult them, but I like demolished them in that I went extremely fast this game. So they can't stop this, right? I don't know. I'm just playing around like some weird non-existent spell here. So we win, right? Yep. Turn 7 win with a control deck. Kind of crazy, but sometimes it happens. Also, didn't play Jayce again, sadly.
Some of us are only human.
All right. Welcome back to the deck. I like those two games. Those were two good games we had. Not just because I won. Like, it's always nice to win, but more because I feel like that those two games showed off the two angles this deck can attack from. The first game against the Poppy Zed Rally elusive deck, we just went full control. We just kept removing their units, keeping their board size small, using our efficient removal, just basically make their rallies not that good. And then we just won because they just ran out of gas. Game 2, we showed the basically other side of the coin, the other side of how this deck attacks. And we just used our early fearsomes and won. Just Elise and Buru Sentinel did so much damage. Also, thanks to knowing the game and the meta, I knew that Vandal City, PNZ, Jayce Heimer has no access to healing, even randomly generated from a Pharaoh's Financier. So I could start throwing burn to face and calculating it as each and every single turn went. And I got a turn 7 victory for that. I think it was a turn 7 victory because I just kept... I threw what? I think like 6 damage to face, and I did a lot of damage thanks to my fearsome. So good couple of games there. Sadly, we didn't get to see any of my favorite cards. We didn't get to see the Officer Squad show off his cool drawing power. We didn't get to see even Jayce, though. So a little sad on that part, but I'm going to be playing this deck some more on stream, too. If you want to watch me on stream, see how I modify this on stream, there's always that if you want to see that. I'd love to hear your opinions on this deck. Do you think Jayce does have a home in this deck? Do you think we should go back to Kindred, maybe? Do you think maybe we need more Vi's? Do you think we should be playing Swap Bot? I'd love to hear your options on this deck, so I can steal them. Smile. Anyway, though, I hope you enjoyed the video, though. If you did, please be sure to leave a like or a comment down below. And if you guys want to keep up with the Legends of Runeterra content, you can always go and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to watch me play some Legends of Runeterra, you can always go and check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zenaton, where I stream pretty much every single day. Probably going to be playing this deck a little bit on stream too, because I want to fine tune it and see just how it feels over a more larger set amount of games. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, thank you all again once more for watching this video, and until I see you guys in the next one, bye!